Hey T, how are you? I'm going to show you how to put this dress together. As usual, you can download the pattern. To start off, make notches in all pieces. Draw guidelines on the wrong side of the fabric where those notches were placed. You do this for the top and bottom sleeve panels and on the buttons. The plan was to make a casing for the elastic, by the way, but I forgot to add the extra seam allowance for that. So that's why there are two pieces for the sleeve, but at the end I do like the seam in the sleeve. You still can make the casing in the sleeve if you want to. Again, I couldn't do it, so I skipped it and went for plan B. Next, you want to measure the elastic around the waist, the wrist, the shoulders and mid-arm. Don't measure the elastic too tight or too loose and cut the desired length off. We're going to begin with the sleeve. Attach the top and bottom panels together, as always with the right side stitching and a simple straight stitch. After that, I search the seam allowance and the raw edge of the sleeve. Right after that, you want to hem the sleeve as well. This is how it should look on the end. Now we want to make the ruffles in the sleeve. Attach the elastic on the guideline with the zigzag stitch and right underneath the seam. Unless you're going to make the casing, then you don't have to. I also changed the zigzag width since the elastic is small. You want to stretch the elastic while you're sewing so that it matches the same length as the sleeve in order to get the ruffles. Now fold the sleeve in half and sew it down with a straight stitch. You should end up with something like this. For now, we are done with the sleeve. Moving on with the buttons, lay the front and back on top of each other and sew it down with a straight stitch. Then finish it off with an overlock stitch or use the zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. And of course, right side stitching unless you're doing a French seam. Now it's time to attach the sleeve onto the buttons, pin it into place, make sure that the seams from the buttons and the sleeve are matching. Once everything is pinned, sew it down with a regular stitch on both sides. And I also searched the armhole seam. You can cut out the skirt on fabric without seams. As you can see, mine has no seam. Repeat the same steps for the skirt. Pin it evenly onto the buttons and sew it all the way around with the standard stitch. Once the two pieces are attached, you can search the waist seam allowance. I also searched the raw edge of the skirt all the way around because in no way I'm going to hem with a double fold. Hem the shoulder neckline with a single or a double fold. I'm doing a double fold. If you search the raw edge, then you can just do a single fold. Sew the ends of the remaining elastic with a zigzag stitch, then divide both elastic bands into quarters. The thin elastic will be placed on the shoulder guideline and the thicker one is for the waist seam allowance. Repeat the same step by dividing the waist seam and the shoulder guideline into quarters. Then you can attach the elastic on the two places with a zigzag stitch. You measure up the markings together by stretching the elastic out, and that will create those ruffles in your garment. By the way, it was funny to read all the comments on Instagram and to discover that most of you don't like the closure or finishing either. Let me know which finishing you hate to do the most in the comments if you want to share. As mentioned on Instagram, I don't like to do buttons, buttonholes and hook and eye. Let's all complain together in the comments. Hem the skirt with a single or a double fold. This is literally me 2 hours later hemming the skirt, because for that I always need to prepare myself mentally to do this step. This is also the final step for this dress. Let me know what you think of the dress. If you like the video, give it a like and share the video, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.